Today's soup is cream of asparagus. So we have some asparagus here. We have garlic. We'll need a couple of cloves of that. Gonna need some stock. I don't know. Depending on the weight of my asparagus, I may use 3 or 4 cups. Now, I was reading a lot of recipes, and this one I kind of like. They say use a potato to make your asparagus soup a lot more creamy without having to add a lot of cream, which I have half and half. Now, you can use sour cream, you can use Greek yogurt, whatever you want as your creaminess. And then I'm going to add some black pepper, a little bit of wine, optional, always optional. I have an onion here, and I'm going to saute my onion and garlic and all of this eventually in a little bit of butter. So let's get to chopping. Okay, so I have everything in place, and my asparagus is clean, not cut yet because I need a little more room. And I don't want to dirty anything else. I've got my potato, my onion, and there is garlic under there. My couple cloves. And then I saved some tips for a little bit of nice garnish. And I'm probably going to garnish this with a little bit of roasted soybean and some Gruyere cheese. You can do whatever you want. I've got my broth ready to go, a little bit of wine, and some black pepper already ground up. And my butter is melting in the pan. I'm going to put the onion in first. All right, my onion's in. I had it on about medium low, kind of in between there. So I'm going to crank it up a little bit to a little bit over medium. And we're going to keep an eye on this and stir it often. I love the smell of onion. This will be so much better than that canned cream of asparagus soup. I love asparagus soup. Cream of celery soup. Let me know, what's your favorite cream soup? I love cream of mushroom too. So, and homemade is even better. So, of course, anything homemade is always better. And it doesn't have all the junk and preservatives and all that stuff in it. Now, like cooking most vegetables, we're waiting till the onion get a little bit what they call translucent. So, it's still a little bit white now. But you see some of them are getting to where they're a little bit more clear in color, especially those on the edge. That's kind of what we're looking for there. That's what they mean when they say cook until translucent with onions. And that's for most recipes. Some will tell you to brown. A lot of Indian recipes like the onion caramelized, a little bit brown. But this one we're just doing translucent. And when these were all almost translucent, I went ahead and added the potatoes. It'd be nice if I could get a little bit of caramelization on that before the onions start browning. It'd be just lovely. You know how those dark potatoes taste so good. The same applies in a soup. Let's see how far we can go. Alright, I realized I was over here instead of over here on my double burner. So, it's getting close to being ready to add other ingredients in. So, I did move it over to my double burner, and I put it on between medium and low. But I think I am getting a little bit of color on these potatoes, which is really nice. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of browning there. So that's good. We're doing good. And I'd like to mention here that a immersion blender or a food processor or a regular blender is going to be needed for this recipe, because we will want this to be smooth and creamy, not so much chunky like Campbell's would be. So you can see we're getting some nice browning. It smells good already. Alright, and I'm going to put the asparagus in. So our asparagus and garlic is entered the building. Entered the pot. Now if you're new to cooking, one of the probably most important thing, I decided to add a little lemon to this, keep that bright green color. Hopefully that works. It usually does. It's going to be masked mostly by the wine anyway. But one of the most important things I think about if you're new to cooking is to control the heat. Don't let it control you. You know, don't cook everything on high. If you do, you're probably going to burn it. Like grilled cheese. You're going to burn the bread before you get the cheese melted. So, it takes a little patience sometimes. I'm going to turn this up a little bit, speaking of controlling the heat. This just went way, way down because of the added ingredients that are cooler. We're going to bring that heat back up. I'm going to give this a good stir. So yeah, it takes a little patience sometimes. Now it's getting a little too bubbly. I'm going to turn it down just a tad. Here we go. I'm going to deglaze the pan with a little wine. Now, any alcohol in here will cook off. Reduce that a bit. And then once this is reduced, we'll be adding our broth. And go ahead and add the black pepper now. I didn't want to add it when I was sauteing so much, but let's get that in there now. It smells divine. Divine. I can't wait to eat. I think those potatoes are going to be really good in here. And, you know, it will cut down on the amount of anything you have to add to it to give it that creamy texture. So I love that about adding the potato. So let's go ahead and get our broth in now. We're going to let all of this cook. And so that's my better than bouillon. I'll scrape that out. But we'll let this cook until, you know, things get a little tender. Maybe 20 minutes or so before we... I have a hand immersion blender, so I'm going to use that. If you use a regular blender, be very careful because the heat will cause pressure in the blender. And when you open the top, it can explode and give you burns. So just be very careful. Be very, very careful. All right. Now, I overcooked mine. I just got distracted doing some administrative stuff with my videos. So, I may have to add water. We'll see. Might just be fine with the cream. But, yeah, it cooked down pretty well. And this should be nice and tender. So... let's give my blade a workout. Wow, that blended up beautifully. Let's see here. Here's the consistency. It's almost the consistency now of like a split pea soup. I'm going to add a little bit of cream, see what that does, and if it thins it out any or not. I don't want it too thin. I do want it creamy. And this does. Let me taste of it. Mm. The wine, let me tell you, the wine is really good in this. It really enhances the flavor. It's nice. I love it. And that little bit of lemon that I put in, it didn't keep it like a bright green. Like these, you remember I kept the tips? They're a little brighter green because I just kind of steamed them a little bit. And then I put them in an ice bath to kind of hold that color. So that's another trick you can try to keep green. But this tastes really good. But we'll see. I'll put a little bit of cream in at a time and see how it goes. Okay, I've added my half and half, and it was pretty thin. It wasn't heavy whipping cream. I don't usually use half and half, so I wasn't too sure. But yeah, it's did thin it out quite a bit. So it's about perfect. Again, let me taste of it. Make sure it doesn't need any seasoning or anything. Oh, it's so darn good. And I'm going to heat this up a little bit. Again, since I've blended it and added the half and half, that cooled it down. I'm only going to just put it on low. And then I have my sides ready. I have my Gruyere cheese, a little bit of asparagus for a fun topper, and then to add some texture. You could do garlic bread or something like that too. I'm just going to pop in these soybeans, dry roasted, and I'll add some protein to this as well. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll be back once I plate it up. All right, and here's the finished soup plated up, again with the Gruyere cheese, the little bit of roasted soybeans, and the asparagus on top. I'm so hungry. I'm going to serve this with just a simple ham sandwich. So I'm ready to eat. See y'all later. Take care. Thanks for watching.